Right then, I guess we'll start with the brightest car here, Ped.
It's mega, isn't it?
Really, really pretty. What exotic name is it? The colour of the paint?
So this is a paint to sample GT4 RS. It's called light green.
Light green.
Light green, yeah. I mean,
it's a bit of an anti-climax.
I know, right? Light green, but this car, it's only got like 300 miles on the clock. Literally just picked it up. And it's on Pilot Sport Cup 2s.
Well, yeah. I mean, naturally, I think they come stock with him most of the time, don't
This
they?
one didn't, actually. It came stuck with some other manufacturer and it's been put
and he's upgraded.
on Cup 2.
Nice.
But mega spec.
Beautiful.
Really nice touch as well. These end fences on the spoiler have been painted in the body colour.
It has the Visac pack on it.
It does have a Visac.
So you've got the carbon bonnet. Are you impressed with my knowledge?
I still think that's one of the best Porsches. I think one of the best Porsches that Porsche currently make, and one of the best Porsches they've ever made.
I'm not convinced about that.
You know?
I think it's a great car, but I think after driving one back to back with the 911 GT3.
Oh, you are a bit of a GT3 fanboy.
And also, the car that trumps it for me is the car that we both absolutely love, and you probably agree, is the convertible version of this, Spider RS.
There's about 5 over there.
Yeah.
Behind you, though,
Yes.
Whale Tail 911. Now, I have a bit of an issue here, okay? Because I love my Porsches and stuff, but my knowledge of the actual designator of 911s gets a bit rusty pre-996.
Yep.
Was it 930 before that, and then it all goes massively Pete Tonk?
No, 964 before that, then 930.
You're right.
I think.
There we go, you see.
I think I'm getting that
Should we
right.
just stop and just say classic?
Yeah.
With a whale tail.
Yeah, the one with the big wing. But isn't it beautiful?
It's mega.
The way it sits. Obviously, it's had a lot of work done to it.
Yeah.
And naturally, it is on Michelin, probably period correct, Pilot Sports or something. Pilot Exalto. What? Exaltos. I see. Again, this is that like a recreation old tyre. Okay, that's really testing my knowledge.
Yeah.
I never even heard of that before. But there you go.
There you go. Every day's a school day.
Every day.
So 6-cylinder. Behold the magnificence. It's a little bit longer than 6-cylinder.
Oh, this has got the extra room because it's only got a 4-pot in it.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A bit more space.
That's an inside joke. If you know
Obviously,
Ped's
This
channel.
is my car.
Yeah, this is Ped's beautiful car, and I tell you what, mate, it is a stunning car. The spec on this is absolutely spot on. Apart from the fact it's missing 2 cylinders, it just looks amazing. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
When we go around here,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's pretty tame for you. But
Yeah.
Is that so the passenger can't see out?
No, this one at the top. This is my Master's Distinction badge on here. This is because I'm an advanced driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're all Goodwood
okay.
member, and
Yeah.
then some Goodwood
Nice.
things.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my GTS.
Looks stunning, mate. Looks lovely. Perfect weather for it. Almost too hot.
It's perfect weather. Now, moving on, there's an amazing story to this car because it's just had a full nut and bolt restoration. And the owner's got like a book in the back with photographs and stuff detailing the restoration. And when you look at the car, when he first picked it up, it doesn't actually look that bad. And then apparently it was just rusted to bits.
Yes.
Wheels had gone.
Yeah.
But what? That's just so beautiful.
Yeah. And it belonged to a record label back in the day.
Is that? Oh, that
And this is actually the record. And the funny thing is, so obviously exactly the same era because it was this record label that owned this car. It just looks so normal. This sitting on the back seat.
I know.
Like the era is just. You could really relate to this because you're probably like 30 by then.
I was in my second year of secondary school by then.
Oh, okay, so not quite.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very cool. But I love it. I think that is just an absolutely stunning car. And once again, perfect for today's weather.
At Matt_Barn, if you want to follow this car.
Matt's MATS_Barn.
He's even got a little.
He's got a replica on there.
Yeah, so
look
cool.
at that.
Now then, here's
awesome.
an old friend.
Here's a new old friend.
The E-Hybrid Cayman. Now, all I wanted to say on this one is the size of the sidewall on these and that lovely velvet.
I love it.
So I know we go on about it a lot, okay,
Yeah.
but Michelin sidewalls, I don't know what the other manufacturers are doing because they're just nowhere near the sidewall game.
They're not. And it's such a big part of the design of the entire car, I find. When you've got...
they're clean and you've got a bit of, tyre shine on.
Yep.
Bloody brilliant things.
They look great. Really, really cool. Obviously, this is close to our heart and Patrick's heart and James's heart because we drove that to Le Mans a couple of weeks ago. Well, a couple of months ago. I don't know when it was.
Now, Pat is holding the camera for us as we walk round, and this is the first time I've seen Pat's 912. So, Pat, please don't cry because it's broken again, isn't it? It's got a bit of a gearbox issue. But it is a beautiful thing. But it's only got 4 cylinders, just saying.
It's only got 4 cylinders. It's got some lovely new but old Michelin tyres on it.
Cool on it. Talk about sidewall game, actually, it's quite interesting. That this is like old school Michelin sidewall.
Very subtle.
And then the tread pattern's great as well, isn't it?
But it's just the size of it, it's a lovely piece of art. And I mean, jokes aside, we give Patrick a little bit of stick because this has been a labour of love over the past couple of years for him. But once it does run properly, I think it's just going to be a wonderful bit of kit, and I can't wait to drive it.
Pure jealousy.
Yeah, I am jealous.
It's that simple,
I think
really.
cruising through even London, or imagine the French Riviera going along on that.
Well, you'd have to get there first.
It's very Patrick as well. He'd have his Leica camera on the passenger seat, just cruising along. But anyway, right,
it's a very cool thing.
And back to modern day.
And another podcaster.
Yes.
Yeah. So my name is Paul Way Rhodes, and I run the Rengineering YouTube and podcast. So thank you very much for inviting me. And this is my 981. So it started life out as a very vanilla, very pretty, but a vanilla 981. And over the last few years, apart from a dalliance with a 991 Carrera T, I've kind of turned it into this, which I'm very proud of. So
it sounds mega.
You wait until it has GT4 RS side intakes in a couple of months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm working with Goldleaf Performance to install those.
GT4, what? So you're going to take the window?
The
windows come out?
Correct,
Side
yeah,
intakes
the full airbox is going in.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be a special bit. I mean, it's a special bit of kit to me anyway. But yeah, it's going to be.
And then
brakes are 718 GTS with gyro discs. Carbotech made me some ceramic pads from scratch. There's loads of Easter eggs, I would say, on this car. So there's stuff that if you know, you know. The bonnet emblems from a 911 ST, the new 911 ST, little tiny little things you'd never know.
Okay.
But yeah, when you start walking around the car, if you're a mega nerd like me, you start picking up.
The seats are lovely. I love the
seat backs. I'm happy with.
They are.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I was just nosing in there and having a look at the back of the seats.
Steering wheel.
The steering wheel.
That's,
the details.
Nod to a Carrera GT.
Carrera GT, yeah. So I worked with a little company built by Basil, and he custom manufactured a Carrera GT gear knob with my logo etched into the top. The steering wheel actually is a GT Sport steering wheel, but retrimmed to match a 991 GT2.
Right.
But with Irish green Alcantara, and I didn't like. If you go to, no disrespect, you've got a beautiful car. The all modern cars have little set screws just in here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I really can't stand them.
Oh, okay.
But they're all compatible across all these generations. So I went to the 981 GT4 and basically made my own version of the favourite steering wheel, including mode select. I don't know if you ever driven a 981 with it only having it on the kind of the side panel. If you're banging around the Alps, like we all love to do, the last thing you want to be doing is looking down to try and stick it into a different mode. So retrofitted that as well, which is
that's
pretty cool.
What I love about events like this is you walk around and there's stuff that's straight out the showroom with just whatever you can spec in the car, right?
Yeah.
And they're all wonderful. But then there's other things. I mean, I think this is probably on the extreme end of customizing, but there's like all manufacturers have. I guess if Joe walked around a BMW event, there'd be tweaks and stuff.
Yeah. The idea is though with this car is that you don't see it.
Yeah.
You don't walk up to it and go, wow, that's a heavily modified car. The idea is you walk up to it and go, yeah, that's nice, and it walk past, or you end up being a nerd and then you're just fascinated by the fact that the Irish green brakes and the logo's different, and you start kind of picking holes and everything. You think, wow, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So
I've noticed you've even got Irish green trainers on.
Yeah.
Do they come as part of the package?
If you buy one off me, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And Ped, here we go. Oh, as we're talking about shoes, Ped's got his clown shoes on again, and well, actually, let's have a vote in the comments below. Do we like the Panottis? Do we like the Irish green Adidas specials and or the clown shoes? Let us know in the comments below.
Okay.
And if you want to check, I'm assuming that's your Instagram handle there.
Rengineering UK for Instagram.
Yep.
Rengineering for all the podcast and all streaming services. Yeah, so at Rengineering.
At Rengineering. So check it out because, as you say, it's maybe on the first look, it's just a Boxster with some gold wheels. But as you get closer, there's just so many details and it's a lovely, lovely bit of kit. So appreciate your time.
Cool. Thank you very much. Now I'll enjoy the rest of the day.
Now, question. There's a Carrera GT gear knob there. If only we had a Carrera GT to go and look at. Have you seen any?
I don't know.
I mean, they're rare,
There's
aren't
a couple around.
they? Do you think? Should we go on see if we can find one?
I reckon if you unscrew it,
Yeah.
you probably stick that in your pocket and no one will notice.
Yeah. Should we go and see if we can find a Carrera GT?
Absolutely. Let's go and find them.
I spy
Carrera
GT.
And another
Hold
one.
on, there's another one. So these things...
And another one. And to be fair, that there was actually 4 here
There were 4.
earlier on.
Can you imagine, though, if you turned up to an event like this in a Carrera GT, which, let's face it, is one of the rarest, most sought-after, most valuable Porsches there are, and there were 3 other ones.
Yeah, it's a bit common. Well, when we came in here, and I don't want to bring it up again, but when we came in here for dinner last night, we followed a Carrera GT in, and there was already 3 parked here. And I said to James jokingly, wow, common as muck. Like, honestly, last night they were actually the most common Porsche model on display. But I mean, look at it. And I remember there was a time when there was probably 15 of these on Auto Trader for about 170 grand.
Yeah.
And then people decided that they were a really good car, and they're very special. The Paul Walker incident, I think, seemed to bump the values of them a lot back in the day.
Which is bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, that, obviously now we've got 10 cylinders, not 4, which is, one of the best sounding engines of all time.
Absolutely.
I've never driven one, but the clutch on them is quite tricky. Apparently the pull away technique is you basically just let it on engine tick over, pull itself away until it gets some speed and then accelerate away. Otherwise
Okay.
you blow the clutch really easily.
So opposite to like a sequential where you've got to really over rev it.
Yeah. If you do that, you blow the clutch on them. And the clutch is like... Because they've got a super tiny clutch.
The clutch is like, let's not talk about it.
Locks on it, though.
I know.
It's an immense thing.
Beautiful.
So then you go, okay, what's your favourite spec?
Yeah.
That's particularly nice with that kind of dark, kind of chocolate-coloured interior.
Yep. Is that like a GT Silvery? No, it's like
It's a bit darker than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And then it's like a gentian bluey kind of dark blue colour. I've got no idea.
I think
I'm
that's
sure if anybody in the comments knows what colour that is, please put. But look at this Pilot Super Sport.
Yep. NO. I wonder what they cost, because the development and the fact that they must be in such low numbers, I can imagine.
I can give you an idea on that.
Can you?
Yeah, they're about 10 grand a set. As we were talking about it before.
But again, just demonstrating how important the tyre is, especially for a car like this, because they're renowned for being a little bit tail happy and snappy. But I mean, I think this is my favourite spec.
Yeah,
just looks stunning. Goes so well with the brown. Oh, look at that interior. What a car. DK Engineering, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then yeah, finally a bit of silver. So we could have one each.
We could.
We could have team.
Yeah. Which one? So I'm blagging this one.
Okay, I'll have the silver one.
You have the silver one.
Pat, you can have that one.
You're going to have
if
the.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, perfect.
The only challenge with it though is I think we're going to need some funding, because my tummy rub guess of the combined value of these 3 cars.
Yep.
I'm going to say £4.5 million.
Yeah, I would say 4.5, 5 million.
About $1.5 million each, aren't they?
And probably 100 odd grand a year to keep serviced and maintained and all the rest of it. But anyway,
Can we go and find a cheaper? Should we go inside and have a look, see if we can find some cheaper ones?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should wander along this road, because
as cars are coming out.
Yeah, people are pouring out really quickly, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because we don't want to miss too much.
The one thing though, if you'd rocked up to this event in your £1.5 million Porsche and they parked you next to the toilets, you'd be well gutted, wouldn't you?
Yes, unless you really needed a pee when you parked it up.
This is very true.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about the Megaphonics site is they've split the cars.
Sorry, how should we walk, Pat? Yeah, so just do that one again.
So the cool thing about the Megaphonics site is they've split the cars into water-cooled and air-cooled. So all the air-cooled stuff is over there, and that's where my knowledge definitely starts to fall over.
Yep.
Although they did have a flat-nose cabriolet, the flat nose with the pop-up headlights.
Yes, yeah.
With a big whale tail on the back.
And it's funny, when I was younger, I really did not like that car, but now as I get older, I think it's really special.
I didn't like the older 911s at all, and then I think it's just an age thing, right? You just start to like them.
Yep.
And they've got quite a lot of sort of the 2.7 RS style replicas, whether that's original ones, resto mod ones.
Yep.
I think the challenge is I don't know what an original one is and what a resto mod one is.
No, that's above my head as well.
But you walk around and there's just so many cool owners, so many beautiful cars. And then what's really cool is you've got everything like that, which is a really early Boxster.
Yeah, really early Boxster on German plates, left-hand drive.
Look at that.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
where are we going to go? Should we go over into the Boxengasse
Yeah, I think
building?
we should head over there.
Let's head over that way. Pat's doing an amazing job of walking backwards.
He is, yeah. And strangely, there was a constant flow of traffic coming through here before.
I know.
Now we started this, there's
I think
not
it's
many
called- It's
cars.
called Sod's Law.
Yeah.
But there are some Now, there we go. So the old kind of speedster style.
Yep.
I always call it Kelly McGillis cars
Yes.
from Top Gun.
Aren't they
The original
absolutely
Top Gun. They're
stunning?
so cool, aren't they? The speedster.
Oh, nice 996
Really,
turbo.
really beautiful.
Very nice. Oh, I don't think he's running cats in that.
You know.
No. And look at this jacked up cat. Oh, okay. Here we go.
So talking about Top Gun, that's very Charlie, call sign Charlie from Top Gun. This is a bit of Dakar coming down
yeah.
here, an early
Isn't
Cayman.
this- so this is becoming a real trend.
real thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's a real thing now.
very,
In the
very
States
cool.
and everywhere else. That is very, very cool. Hey,
Super
how's it
cool,
going?
super cool.
Oh,
I mean, when I drove the Trans-Siberia at Festival of Speed
Yep.
last year, this is one of the buildings now at Boxengasse, and it's just I wish I had like a calculator with the combined values of all the cars we can see, because I have a feeling it would be quite scary.
it'd need to be a really long
I
calculator
know,
because
because
the figure would be quite.
Those Carrera GTs are worth a lot. But just look at those over there.
I know. They're absolutely beautiful.
So right, let's go in here because this
Yeah.
is a world of loveliness.
Wow. Well, firstly, it's nice and cool in here.
Welcome to Porsche Dreamland.
Yeah.
Now he's going to do terrible things for your exposure. But yeah, just now, this is where my Porsche knowledge is going to be exposed very, very quickly,
Yep.
because there's some beautiful stuff. There's some lovely old Rothmans and Bastos liveried race cars, rally cars. Over
That's
there.
a 914. I know that much.
Done.
That's very rare.
Yeah.
I only know that from sort of Magnus Walker days. No, he's got one out in LA. And
So the scary thing is, so I'm going to upset people now. When I did Vintage Voltage, we electrified one of those. Moggy used to rally them, and we electrified one.
I think everyone's just tuned out. Have they just? I
We
think
actually
they've.
took the engine out, put motor in it. Yeah, I know, right? Well, we did a speedster as well, to be fair, but it was a replica.
It's on lovely
Oh, look at the
Michelin period correct
There's
tyres.
so many cars. I mean, this whole yes, the event's sponsored by Michelin.
Yeah.
The amount of cars that genuinely are on this
Oh, Michelin's.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you come back to some of the really early stuff here, and you look at the side profile of that in front, and then you think about what a 911 looks like now.
Yep.
It's not changed a great deal.
It's
has it?
not. How beautiful is that? And
The
I mean-
aero for the day, back in the day. I haven't got my glasses on now. I'm gonna. This is a 356 1951.
wow. Is that before you were born?
Do you know what? I knew you were going to say that. So disrespectful.
Oh,
Respect your elders, my
I
friend.
should. Yeah. I'm
Isn't
sorry
that
about that, Fed.
And then, here we go. Bit of race car.
Oh, this is what Patrick was dribbling over yesterday. What was that? 906 from 1966.
That is proper. Absolutely proper.
This is like very much like, and I said this to Patrick last time when we were in here. This is like the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart,
Yeah.
in many ways.
Yeah. Oh, so you were here last night, were you?
Yeah,
You told me that.
Yeah, we were here last night, but there was a couple of changes. The sun was sitting over there, so you had this amazing light coming through and lighting up all the cars, almost like they'd done it on purpose. And there was just Patrick and I in here. So
Okay.
yeah,
Now, there's a 2.7
yes,
RS over here.
but it's not an RS.
It's not an RS.
No,
It is.
an RSH.
It is an RS.
I'd never even heard of it. I don't.
So I think this is probably a really great place to kind of wind up our chat, because I think this car, for me, in terms of classic Porsches, is peak classic Porsche.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure we'd all like a 2.7 RS,
Yep.
and they're silly money. And I'm sure this one, because it's like one of only about 30 cars that's an RSH.
What's the H stand for then, Ped?
So there's a little plaque on the front which I've read already. So
Yeah.
So they when they were racing these, this was like a race spec one, and they did a limited number of ones that didn't have any modifications beyond race spec that ended up on the road, and I think that's the H.
Okay.
I don't know what H stands for.
Okay.
It's basically the race version, but a road legal version.
Wow. Okay.
Something like that. Pat's going to nod and say, yes, you're right there.
Yeah, sort of.
Should I read it out? but that for me though, we think about Carrera GT values. These things, silly money.
Oh, telephone numbers. Yeah, absolutely stunning.
Look at the size though. If you compare that with a modern day 911,
Yep. Yeah.
and there aren't any.
There aren't any. No.
No. I don't know what the newest 911 in here would be, probably, but that's just Pete.
It's lovely. Really nice.
So if you are into your Porsches, then I strongly suggest popping along down to Boxengasse, because it's an amazing place. This event next year should be on your to-do list. Megaphonics at Boxengasse, because it's been fantastic.
It really should.
Even if you're not a Porsche fanboy,
Yep.
it's just got so many beautiful cars.
And it's just a nice day out as well. It's a bit like Goodwood. You can,
It's got
the
a
surroundings.
very revival feel.
It has, yeah. It's
and
really nice.
It's really very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, massive thanks to Michelin as always because they sponsor this event and they invited us to come along. Shame I couldn't come to the dinner last night. I hear it was very good.
You live and you learn.
Next year I'll make sure I'm here.
Yeah.
But I hope you've enjoyed that. In the comments though, what would your dream Porsche be? Would you be in the air-cooled camp? Would you be in, what about you? Air-cooled or water-cooled?
I'm a bit, I like my modern cars.
Yeah.
And I've not driven many air-cooled. I did, however, recently drive that 993 Turbo.
Yeah.
Which was a Porsche museum car, and I really enjoyed that, and it did have a different character to it. But I'm going to say water-cooled just because, I know the modern stuff a bit better, and I'll probably get shot in the comments for that. But
Can we have one of each?
one of each, yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah,
Yes.
like a modern day one.
Yeah, something
And
like
then-
that.
and then an
Just-
old
just
time,
something
like
like that. Yeah.
Can you imagine just having that in my new garage?
Oh,
Unfortunately, my next door neighbour Jeremy has an orange 2.7 RS replica Rennsport that he's trying to sell. And I'm trying not to buy.
yes.
But yeah, one of them for like just special occasions.
Yep.
And then a water-cooled one for your drive tours and those types.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. Yeah,
That'd be very nice.
would be.
Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Make sure you give us a subscribe and like and follow us on all the various social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram, because that's how we grow as a channel. And join us on the next episode because we've got a very special guest. We're at the MotoGP at Silverstone, and it's a great episode.
It's a funny episode.
It's really funny.
Because you and I actually have a couple of beers as well during it. So
Yeah, a bit like you did last night.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, there's some amazing TikTok videos of him last night.
Anyway,
He's now.
see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.